Well, January was an absolute rollercoaster. Losing Terry Cloutey, not exactly what we wanted, but I don't really feel like we had a choice. More on that in a little bit. But we did at least manage to sign an awful lot of players. £15 million worth of transfer value brought in, hopefully, over the course of that window. But with a 3-1 deficit from our trip to the Camp Nou, it looks unlikely that we're going to progress any further in the Champions League, minus some absolute miracle performance, which could well be coming up today. You just never know. And in addition to that, we have a youth intake. Now, if you saw the youth intake preview, it was 6 different positions rated at A and 9 players within that. I'm hoping for big things today. Prepare to be disappointed. As always, if you have been enjoying the series, drop a like. That would be fantastic. I really do appreciate that very, very much indeed. Now, we have to sort of focus our attention back on the league momentarily because we have a full month between now and the next Barcelona game. We've got a cup game midweek, but we're already 6-0 up from the first leg, so that's not really going to be an issue on our minds. What's on our minds today is getting ourselves a cheeky little derby victory and hoping that we can kind of get the hammer down. Now, I'm actually not sure on what the situation is with FC Copenhagen in terms of Europe. What I'm hoping is that if we do go out to Barcelona, we'll have the rest of the season free of any midweek fixtures for European games, which means we should have a nice, easy run in comparison, with them probably being in the Europa League knockouts. And I suspect, given their quality, which is for once going to pay off for us, they might actually go quite far. So as you can see, they won their group, which means they'll be going in at the second qualifying round, so they do get a little bonus of that, but they're probably going to do quite deep in this tournament, which I think could help us distract them a little bit. But today, we get to experiment with this squad and maybe try and throw a few of the new guys in, particularly Roldan, I sense will probably get a game today, now that he is actually back fit, I think. The system wants to make loads of changes, and I am absolutely not doing that, although I will put Chibolitz out instead of get Canalets in instead. My assistant wants to put Doldan as the wide centre-back here, which I'm absolutely not doing. If I'm going to start him here, he's going to start here. Obviously, he isn't fully familiar with the role yet, but he'll get there because he is training it. Yeah, that looks a bit more like it with Turnison, Arbelader, and Jokanovic. And I know some of you wanted to see Hassan Samson. Of course, we had some big bids for him from PSG in the window. The biggest bid we had was £9 million, but it was mostly in installments. And obviously, with the fact that we don't have a release clause on him, why would I want to sell him? He seemed relatively okay to stay as far as I can tell, so he seems okay. And I think he's a really, really solid player. 19 years old, 11 caps for Tanzania already. He is just the epitome of the type of player that I absolutely adore finding. Let's just remind you how much we paid for him. £56,000. That right there, my friends, is the dream. And by the way, that scouting video that shows all the methods that I was talking about to find these players is coming out tomorrow, finally. I finally got around to doing it properly. 12 o'clock UK time, that is like midday, basically. So expect that one in there too. I've tried to go over everything I possibly can to show you how to make this method work properly and every little tiny thing I do. Because a lot of it is quite straightforward, but there's just a few things that help me get it working really smoothly. They really do be persisting with putting Thomas Blad up front now. This is not the career arc I suspected for him. Hopefully, it should just be a relatively straightforward victory, because we do just need to start stringing a few of these back together again, get that momentum back, and try to have what we usually have after Christmas, which is that great run of form to take ourselves into the championship group with hopefully a bit of a lead. But the gap has obviously come down quite a lot lately. One thing I think we will get with Doldan is that defensive stability from him. He is a really good defensive player, and maybe he will lack a bit of the Terry Cloutiness going forward, but I think he's going to make us even better at the back, and that's what we might need over that championship group just to get us over the line this season, is having that slightly stronger defence. And I think that's going to be a real key factor when you look at how strong the rest of the defence is. That should really help us a lot, rather than having to rely on Clouty's athleticism bailing him out all the time. As Breda makes a great run forward here, he goes for goal and it's hit the side netting. I still think no matter what we think about him, really, he's still a bargain for £800,000, even if his wage is a bit extreme. Samson's already through on goal and he's drilled it over the bar. Good news elsewhere is that FC Copenhagen are 2-0 down at home against Randers, and I think Usman Faye, oh, what a chance that was, has scored one of the goals for them. Oh, this is a bit closer. Surely Petter Breda must score this time. And he does! Suryaska 1, Esbjerg 0. Petter Breda, lovely finish from him. We've been all over them in the first 25 minutes. And with FC Copenhagen 2-1 down at home, this is a big moment for us this season. It's now 3-1 to Randers away at FC Copenhagen. If they can... Even if they just drop any points against them, it could be great for us. I mean, as half-times go, I think we've been pretty solid in this first half, just doing our thing. Very narrowly offside there was Canalets to potentially give us the second goal, but we've controlled the defensive side of things, which is the key. And you'll notice that both Sumare and Doldan have done really solidly. Nothing outrageous, but just solid defensive work, and that's what I want to see from those guys. And with FC Copenhagen being 3-1 down and us a goal up, at the moment, oh, it's 4-1! It's 4-1 to Randers! I mean, that is an incredible result. Now, if we just win, this could put us in a really strong position again. Not that we weren't already in one, but that could be a game-changing moment. Doldan just going a bit of a blind alley that does find the cross, and Sumare's there. Good header. It's the first time they've really got any sustained possession in our final third here, and Blad's header as well, saved by Makacek. Come on, a nice little set-piece goal or something. Canna lets his ball. It's a lovely cross, and Carlson hits the crossbar. Turnison puts it over the line for 2-0. Oh, there we go. We may have hit the woodwork yet again, but it doesn't matter as Jakob Turnison picks up his second goal like that this season, I think. It's 2-0 Sunioska. Massive. Madon Sailor, here's that pass coming, surely. Oh, lovely pass round. It's Kamil Szymanski. Good save. A goal back for FC Copenhagen. It's 4-2 now. That game is still not fully over yet by any means. In place of Randy Boy, Chibolitsa's ball through and Szymanski, and it is 3-0. I don't know if that's onside or not. Szymanski's looked really good coming off the bench. He's such a useful, versatile super sub of a player. Always comes off the bench and offers us something in these matches, and I'm really, really pleased from there. And it is awarded for 3-0. Back for Sumari, back for Carlson again. Is there more? Oh, it's 4-3 now with FC Copenhagen. They're coming right back into that match. Come on, Ranas, hold on. Drops it short for Dimitrov. Might get it back again. Oh, lovely little ball around the side for Szymanski. Good save again. Nordsjælland score a late winner as well. I'd actually forgotten about Nordsjælland, but they have just taken the lead against Vejle. Wait, hang on, what? Sorry, we were taking a free kick and it went straight out of play, but it looks like we've just been given a penalty. Madon Sailor from the spot smashes it home for 4-0. Wow, okay, we'll just take that free goal there as Madon Sailor scores his 7th of the year, and we put 4 past Esbjerg in the derby and look very comfortable today. I mean, surely that's the last kick of the game. We're into the 96th minute of the match now. I don't think there's really much more to say about this one other than Sunioska 4, Esbjerg 0, and as far as I know in the other game, it is FC Copenhagen 3, Ranas 4, and that is huge. What a great result for us there. I mean, you can see defensively we were off the charts in today's game. Just brilliant all round. Doldan and Sumari did a fantastic job. Doldan wasn't putting many crosses in, is what I would say, but what he was doing that I kind of liked about him is often he was taking that ball and finding little incisive passes through and in behind instead. So that's, I guess, something. And he looked really solid defensively. In fact, we just looked like we weren't going to concede a chance today, let alone a goal. And obviously the best news of them all, of course, is Ranas doing us the biggest of the favours and allowing us to move 6 points clear. But not only 6 points clear, we're 6 points clear with an 8 goal difference advantage now. And we really need to manage that difference because 6 points is great because that's basically they're 2 wins from us, but not only 2 wins, they're 2 wins with a worse goal difference. So that is a really helpful factor that we just have to sort of manage this gap for the rest of the season. But it's really going to come down to those games against FC Copenhagen and Nordsjælland in the championship group. Although I think we still have to play Nordsjælland again before we reach that point. So it could get quite tough there. And just on the Terry Cloty situation, I feel like maybe I didn't explain the logic of why I was doing what I did, perhaps in the correct way. Essentially, I've played this game enough to know that me turning down that bid from Manchester City at that point, they would have triggered his clause. There is no way in a million years that they wouldn't have triggered his release clause. And that would have left us with no Terry Cloty and £17 million up front, some of which would have gone in our transfer budget. And of course, what I did was get a slightly less money up front with more in the back end and still have no Terry Cloty, but a slightly smaller transfer budget, which we still spent quite effectively, I think. And the logic behind that for me was that if Terry Cloty not being here is the reason that we then don't win the title this season, then that was going to happen whether I took loads of money up front or whether I took a little bit more in the back end. And were we to not win the title this year, I feel like we could cash that clause in and take even more cash, which will then allow us to build the squad out even better for another run at the title. And if we do win the title, then no harm done. That was basically the logic to it. As much as I hate letting good players go that I really enjoy having on the team, he was going to go one way or the other. But now, league stuff. Oh, there's Barcelona in there too. Maybe there's a miracle on ice. Who knows? It's unlikely, but we give it a go. And youth intake too. So we had the second leg in the cup, 5-2 thrashing. 11-2 on aggregate. I put a completely rotated side in this one. And actually, Ivan Juris was fantastic in this game. He may have scored a hat-trick, which did help, but he was putting up great numbers before that anyway, sliding pass after pass through for people. He looks like he could be the perfect deep lying forward. If he had a little bit more height and physical presence, he'd be way better than Christopher Carlson, but he just operates slightly differently. He's a bit more of a he's like a playmaker that plays as a striker that can still score goals. He kind of does it all, and I'm really excited to see what he can do for us over the rest of the season. Big tackles again. We're flying with tackles. Carlson pops it back through for Valencia. He's onto his left foot, and it doesn't matter because it's not been saved and it is in the back of the net. Ranas 0, Sunioska 1, and we are potentially doing what FC Copenhagen couldn't. This is big. I mean, in the end, we probably should have won this game by more, but again, another really solid defensive performance from the lads. They really do look very, very good at the back, and it was Rafa Valencia's early goal that was just enough to get us over the line in this one. Did hit the post as well with a good chance, but that's still a great result away at Ranas, particularly as I'm fairly certain FC Copenhagen just dropped even more points. Yes, they did. They drew away at Silkeborg, and now our gap between us and them has stretched to 8 points. I mean, that's a lot to ship. In the last 2 matches, they've shipped 5 points to us. Now, Nordsjælland, of course, actually now become our main title rival as they win against Brøndby. And, well, oh my goodness, 6 points clear at the moment. It's still looking very good for us, and we definitely are back into good shape. We've still only lost. I think we've actually won 17 matches this season, drawn 1 and lost the other, which is about as perfect as you can really have a start to the season, honestly. Madon Sailor to try and drop one in on Carlson. It's a nice early... Oh, it's just gone straight in. I think that might be offside against the guy on the line, potentially. No, it's an own goal. Issa Hussein has put it over the line. Szymanski popping it around the side. Oh my god, Kibelitz is in. It's a lovely finish. It's 2-0, and Andrei Razvan Kibelitz, that is an unbelievable finish, but the pass was even better. 2-0. We really have just picked up where we left off before Christmas lately in the league. Just dominance here. Obviously, the own goal helped, and then the beautiful finish from ARC makes it 2-0 to SecondYellowCard again. But that's another 3 games in a row now with wins, but also just clean sheets for days, barely conceding chances. The defense is just stable, and they are winning us these matches at the moment, even though we are scoring goals, but it's just so nice to have that basic of defense at the back. It's incredible. And on top of that, FC Copenhagen twatted Nordsjælland 4-0, which actually helps us in a way, really, because it now means that they move back above Nordsjælland, but the gap between us and second spot is now up to 8 points with 12 matches to go. Yeah, it's 12 matches to go, isn't it? So we really just have to start managing this at this point. Now, we do start to play Nordsjælland again ourselves, which I think could be a big turning point potentially for them, and I think if we were to beat them, it could virtually eliminate them potentially. But we've had some hell of a 18 wins out of 20 games this season. It's been utterly outrageous. We're on for an insane season at this point, and hopefully it'll be enough to get ourselves a title. But we've still got Barcelona coming up midweek, so it could all change. Also, a 4-4 here. Holy Christ, what a game. Just quite a large bid for Madon Sailor from Al Jazeera. It's worryingly, I mean, it's not that close to his release scores, luckily, but I am a bit concerned. I am going to have to start stalling this as long as possible, because I don't, particularly as it's non-negotiable as well. So I really, really don't want to lose him as well. Goodness me. Randy Boyce was a long way up the pitch, and Kukuchka's just got all the way forward into that spot. We're now a defender short as well, and it's near post. It's James Price, 24th of the year. SecondYellowCard 0, Barca 1. We just have not been able to handle them. They've been way better today. Kamara pops it down the side for Kukuchka once more. Price, and it's 2. He's just unplayable. Mikuláš Kukučka is just unplayable. What a machine he is on the left. Dimitrov now pops it through, and Carlson's there, and Carlson gets us back into the match at nothing else. It's 2-1 at home. Could we maybe pull out a draw? Well, I mean, in the end, only narrowly beaten at home by Barcelona too. We had some great chances in the second half there. For the last sort of 20 minutes of this match, it was pretty much all SecondYellowCard, and I really think we should have had an equaliser in there, but it's just how it goes. I think 5-2 over 2 legs is extremely harsh on us. I actually think we were very close to them in both matches for the most part. Still think they were the better side, clearly, but I think we've actually run them a lot closer than the scoreline would suggest. I think the quality level in terms of their finishing and stuff is just that little bit better than ours, obviously, because they're Barcelona, but we've certainly not embarrassed ourselves by any means. The chances were there for us. We just couldn't quite take them. Sad. But now allows us to really focus our attentions to the domestic stuff now. Doldan. Oh, nice little ball into the channel. Valencia has to wait for some runners, but there's definitely some people coming in. One of them is Ivan Juris. It's a great finish. Ivan Juris, his first goal in the league for us here. I put him instead of Carlson today. What a finish from this young man. Down the side for Breda. Loads of runners. Valencia's another one on his left this time. Must score. Does. Easy peasy. 2-0 SecondYellowCard. Lovely finish. To Samari once more. Oh, what a ball. What a ball. Bloody hell, what a cross. Soumare's just fired that across for Valencia. It's a very unusual type of cross, honestly. It's 3-0, and straight from the kickoff, Valencia's grabbed another one. Could we do another one of those brilliant crosses from Soumare? We might be able to. Oh, he actually has. Oh my goodness, he actually has. It's 4-0. It's a hat-trick for Rafa Valencia, and Soumare has put in some unbelievable crosses in this first half here. What is he playing at? I love it. Breda. Wait, Turnisson's off the bar. Ido puts it over the line for 5-0 in the first half. So Valencia around the side for Madon Sailor. He's through on goal, and he slaps it home, and it's 6-0. Madon Sailor with a goal. Valencia now with an assist to add to his haul from today's game. We are destroying them. Yeah, just a little bit of a good result there. Valencia with the 4 goals. He got an assist as well. Juris scoring, Ido scoring. That was just a demolition job, and we are just stretching our legs. This defense is just not letting anybody. It's like Gandalf. It's like you shall not pass, and nobody does. The gap at the top does still remain 8 points, but you can see now with Nordsjælland dropping points in, I think, back-to-back games, we now move 12 points clear of them, with our final match of the preliminary stage being against them. I've turned down the bid from Al Jazeera for Madon Sailor. As a result, and we could have put an expiry date in there actually, I've tried to offer him a new deal, and he is actually willing to talk. It's a huge wage rise, but he's such a good player. It would of course still have a release clause, because again, they just lock these in. I know it doesn't look like it's locked, but it is. It's because I've negotiated it. I managed to get the price up at least to £11 million. And it's a huge wage jump, but I feel like just keeping Madon Sailor is such a huge deal. In the end, I actually think we've done well to get a 0-0 draw here. You can see literally we had done nothing. We had no shots in the whole first half of this game. In the second half, we definitely brought it a bit more and managed to have a little opening. Breda hit the post, but that was about it for us, really. And a 0-0 draw. Now, annoyingly, FC Copenhagen were losing against AGF, of all people, who we just hit for 6, but they did turn it around, it looks like. Yes, they did, with the 76th minute goal. The gap is back to 6 points again. It's kind of mental that we've got 59 points at this stage. Them having 53 points. To give you an idea, like, I always use 2 points a game as a good rule. If you're going for 2 points a game, you should be generally quite up there. You'll obviously need a little bit more to go and win the title. But the fact is 2 points a game is 44 points, and they're already exceeding that by 9, and we're exceeding it by 15 at the moment, and are still only 6 points clear at the top. We did think that it was going to take an absolute miracle season to actually overthrow FC Copenhagen, and I really do think that's the case. My disappointment is immeasurable, and my day is ruined. Really? This right here was the youth intake that had 6 A-rated segments and 9 players within those 6 A-rated, and it's rated as a half-star youth intake. Why even bother with youth intake previews? Why does that exist when they're so clearly off base almost every single time? But I guess we've got one player that is worth talking about, which is Michael Fisher, one of the gifted players to come through in recent years. I mean, that doesn't really line up, but sure, let's have a look. You know what? Actually, he's a very solid player. Like, genuinely, he's a pretty decent player. Particularly at 15, to have these kind of attributes is really solid. Compared to what I was expecting, it is a disappointment, you might say. Stensland firing across, and Jokanovic is there, and he's actually scored it. It's OB 0, Sunioska 1, and bear in mind, it's FC Nordsjælland versus FCK again in the other match. This is a huge chance for us once more. Martin is out wide for them now. They could find an equaliser here. We haven't actually conceded a goal in the league so far today in this video, as far as I'm aware. Juris fires it over the top for Valencia. Carlson's out injured at the moment. Valencia's throw on goal, and he makes it 2. 2 in 5 minutes. Even Juris has done a phenomenal job stepping in for Christopher Carlson, who actually tore a titty muscle in training and is out for 3 weeks. And hopefully it continues like this. Sumore out wide now. Drops it around the side for ARC. Whips it across for Stensland, and it's in the back of the net. Bjarne Stensland, I put him in instead of Doldan today, and it's 3-0 inside 14 minutes. Show us what you got, buddy. You already got a goal today. Ball in, and Juris is there, and it's 4. Even Juris again. It's 4-0 in the first. Wow. I mean, it does just feel like we're marching inevitably towards a title at this rate. Well, the FC Copenhagen have turned it around and are not letting us go. Kivilic's ball in, and wow, it's saved and put over the line by Jokanovic again, and it's 5. We are just impressive at the moment. Kivilic's to deliver another one. Can Juris get a head on it? Oh, he actually does! Ivan Juris from the corner now makes it 6. His 6th goal for the club and his 3rd in the league already. He is really good. Well, I mean, 6 is absolutely absurd. We did not deserve to win this game by 6 goals. We just destroyed them. It's incredible. Juris was amazing. Rafa Valencia was great too. Defensively did very well actually to keep them out entirely. Makicek had a great game. I mean, it's actually nuts how many games is it in a row now in the league since we actually conceded a goal? We are just a different level at the moment. And however elite FC Copenhagen are acting at the moment with another victory against Nordsjælland, it doesn't matter currently because we've now got a 6-point lead still over them. The goal difference gap is now 15. And more importantly, our gap over Nordsjælland now stretches to 15 points. So with 9 matches to go, they've pretty much had it at any chance of catching us. It really is once again down to us and FC Copenhagen. Do you remember that brief period at the start of this video when Nordsjælland actually got above FC Copenhagen? Yeah, they've gained 0 points since then. I think they got 1 point against us. I think they've lost like 4 of their last 5 and drawn the other one. They've completely fallen off the wagon right when they got that second spot from us. From FC Copenhagen. And now it's back to square one. Needs something here. Is Valencia. Can he pull it back inside for someone? Breda! And it's put in by Christopher Carlson. 1-0 to Sunioska. Such a big goal there. We've been pretty bad in this game, actually. But Carlson returns from his strained titty and he's back in. Turnerson tries to whip one. Kivilic's in! Oh, it's a great finish from him. And it's 2-0 to us, I think. And if this counts, this is big because it's Midtjylland 1, FCK 0 in the other game. Once again, we do the business. Carlson and ARC with the goals. But the thing is, that's 7 consecutive clean sheets in the league. The defensives, we've only conceded 10 goals this season in 23 matches in the league, which is absolutely outrageous. And we've kept 8 clean sheets in our last 9 league matches. And I think it's only 1 goal conceded. No, 2 at the FC Copenhagen game. That's literally, I think, the last goal that was scored against us. And that was before Christmas in the league. That's how good this defense has got now. Stensland, by the way, has looked really good anytime I've put him in at left wing back. And I think that maybe, ironically, he was the right signing in the first place. He's looked a lot better than Doldan. I think he just has more forward presence. And in even better news, Midtjylland 2, FC Copenhagen 0 pushes our gap to 9 points now. 9 points with 8 games remaining. We've got a huge margin for error now, and surely this title, we just need to get this over the line now. We are looking unbelievable. We do still have a cup, though, against Nordsjælland in 2 legs. In fact, we've got 3 games in a row now against Nordsjælland. Obviously, the League One will be the Life Cup in a minute. Well, that was a little bit unexpected, actually. I played a slightly rotated side here for the first leg of the cup against Nordsjælland. We actually came up with a 3-0 victory. Rafa Valencia, Juric, and Dimitrov coming up with goals. Really strong performance from the guys. Carlson had a little rest. Juric is such a capable deputy. I love having that little bit of extra depth there. We're not having to worry about bringing in someone who can't do the job, and he's just flourished in this team. I thought we'd just quickly check in on the statistics at this point in the season. You can really see how we are just Exactly what I wanted. I wanted, even if we weren't doing so well on paper in terms of the... Or not even on paper, in terms of the score sheet, if we weren't smashing it the way that we are, I wanted us to turn the statistics into our favour, and this year it has very much been that. We've created more chances and had more XG than anyone else in this league by a comfortable margin, and really, if you discount Nordic, it's a very comfortable margin. And defensively, again, obviously Makacek has been spectacular, and so have the defence. That's really helped us, but we've still been the best defence too, and comfortably the best side in the league this season. I think it's just up to us now, obviously in the next video probably, to try and bring this home, but we still have 4 games against those two. It could all switch. It's a 9-point gap. If we lost all 3 of them, or sorry, lost all 4 of them, and they managed to rack some points up elsewhere, this could still all change. And the first step of that is today, at home against FC Nordsjælland. FC Copenhagen, of course, host Randers. Our record against Nordsjælland is weird. Like, we looked really good against them in the cup, but we looked average against them away from home in the league, and we're very lucky, I would say, in a way, to get away with a 0-0 draw. We just don't concede goals at the moment. If we can get through another league match without conceding, I think there's a very, very good chance. Some changes will need to be made for this game, but we've already kind of done that with this in mind, so we'll switch from things around a little bit. Obviously, Carlson can come back in a little bit. Doldan is not going to play wing-back today. Don't know who I want to put in. Stenson, again, honestly. Stenson just seems to suit that role better. Maybe it's because Doldan hasn't learned it yet, but I think it's just a case of he's more of a defensive kind of player. He's much better as a fullback, and honestly, he'd be better as a wide centre-back in this team, to be fair. So, yeah. Bad transfer? Still only £800,000. It's the wage that makes, I think, it a bad transfer. But if they were to sell him, which I think like one day when we leave, probably they will do, I still think he's a good player, just perhaps not for this team. We're probably going to bring in... Oh, wait, hang on a minute. Let's do Madon Sailor there, since we don't really want Szymanski in the midfield, honestly. I genuinely believe if we beat Nordsjælland today, that might be enough in a way, because that means that we'd only have 3 matches left against the big sides, essentially, those two. And that would only allow us to drop 9 points to FC Copenhagen, and they'd still have to play other games themselves, and I just don't see them going flawless, although they are a very good side. And I think if we get this home win, we can start having one hand on that trophy, potentially, but I don't want to jinx it, so I'm going to touch all the wood I can right now. FC Copenhagen lead early on in their game, so the gap would temporarily at the least be down to 7 points. There's been no shots for either side here. It's very much like the league game we had against them, well, literally a few weeks ago at the moment. It's a very tight, cagey game, and I get the feeling this is the sort of game that could be decided by a single goal, and it's just a question of whether we have the quality to create the chance to take that, and that's what we're going to try and do today. Valencia, Stenson's pulling in a nice little spot for him, goes for goal himself, and Samson misses the target. He's not scored this season, and I guess I can see why, but the wing-backs have really helped as well. Ball in, Valencia's on the end of it. It's Suriuska 1, Nordsjælland 0, 32nd goal of the year for Rafa Valencia. Sumare again with an absolute banging cross. He's taken that first team spot over from Randy Boyce. Finds Sumare, could he get a shot away himself, and it's well saved. Nordsjælland looking very shaky. Ever since they got that second spot for a single match day, their shakiness has been out off the charts. Gotta watch out for that path through the middle, and Swan's in, and Swan has... But never mind, Makacek is just an absolute machine at the moment. He's saving everything. Set piece is one area where we could potentially come a cropper. Brenner's ball in, headed clear again. Gotta get out to him quickly though and close him down. Back into the box from Milivojevic. Don't foul him. Brenner could push this across, and it's a chance for... No, it's cleared, and Body's on the line, and it's blocked over the crossbar, and the clean sheet stays intact. We are on thin ice a little bit at the moment, but that goal is living a charmed life currently as Ido clears it away again. This is a reasonable distance for Brenner. It looks like it's good for Makacek, though, and he's tipped it wide again. Still kept in play, though. Another chance for Eriksson. Body's in the way again. They're doing it for their goalkeeper. Need the return pass. Madon Sailor's through. Could he make it 2? It's going to get blocked to Surely. Great save again at the other end. Half-time, very entertaining first half, actually, considering the 1-0. I think we've obviously been the better side in this one, but Makacek still has some stuff to do, and the defenders have done a terrific job on just throwing bodies in the way of those Nordsjælland shots. They've had chances, and we've done well to deal with it. We need someone to drop in and receive a pass here. We're a bit too advanced with all the midfielders. There we go. Samson's in a good spot now. Oh, and Sumare, this is his golden chance. This is what he does well. Back across, and it's a good save. Madon Sailor being given space again to turn around and find passes. Once more, Valencia, there's a run being made. Madon Sailor's bursting through again. He's gone too wide here. Well blocked. Down, and actually Swan's got this. He's often getting into these positions, but again, brilliant block to kill that one off, and we can go again. Madon Sailor slipping it through for Ivan Juris, fresh off the bench. One touch, round the... Oh, good shot again. Madon Sailor's delivery, and Juris has done it! It's 2-0, and Ivan Juris off the bench. Incredible. He's not even that tall, but he's got such a good record in this team since he's joined this club, and I'm sure that's going to be 2-0. Samson to dink one deep, and I tell you what, Juris is there again! It's 3-0, and Ivan Juris... I don't know if that one's going to be onside, but if it is, the man has scored 2 goals, and he's only been on the pitch for 4 minutes. Ivan Juris, what a player this lad is going to be. Randers have got a goal back against FC Copenhagen as well. It's 4-2 there. Chance! Makacek saves it wide again. Brenner's delivery. I want this so bad. No! There it is. Askrimur Eriksson scores, and that's the first goal we've conceded in the league today, and it took the 80th minute of the final game. Oh, so close to 8 consecutive clean sheets in the league. It's just a bit of a mess up in the box there, and it gets all the way through to Eriksson. And it's 3-1. I'm genuinely gutted for Makacek there. that we couldn't quite give him the 8 consecutive clean sheets. I've never had an episode like that where we didn't concede a single goal in the league, particularly not over 8 matches. That would have been something else. And weirdly, Szymanski's still got this here. Ah, not quite. Juris again. Brings it down. Flips one across. Really nice play, actually. Oh, what a strike from Doldan, and what a save. That potentially could cost us, as Swan's got a bit of speed, but luckily... No, not luckily. Swan's in, and a good save again from Makacek. And I think that's probably going to bring things to a close here, really. It looks like it is going to be Sunyaska 3, Nordsjælland 1. I'm glad we got the victory, of course I am, but I'm just gutted for Makacek that we didn't get to keep him 8 clean sheets in a row in the league, as Juris fires the ball out of play onto the right-hand side, and that's going to kill this game off, and there it is. 3-1 win, and that moves us one step closer to the title. We did well, and Makacek made some good saves in today's game. It's just a bit unfortunate the way the ball fell there. Oh, I feel bad for him, I really do. But also, even Juris, off the bench, I think I brought him on in the 66th minute, scores in the 69th and 71st minutes. This guy is a phenomenal talent. For those of you that might have missed him in the last episode, we picked him up for, I think, what was it, £750,000? And at this kind of quality for someone that young, I just think he's going to be a worldie. I can feel it already. He's just a scoreable player. He scores so often. As for FC Copenhagen, they did get the victory, of course, 3-1 against Randers. Our gap, we're 18 points above Nordsjælland now. They're done. They literally, well, they could technically catch us, but they're not going to, are they? And it's a 9-point gap to FC Copenhagen now with 7 games to go. Next episode is just about getting this title over the line and trying to see how many points we can get. We've still got 7 games left, by the way. Like, there is still a chance that we could finish on 89 points this is. We won't, obviously. But I think we could get 80 plus points this year. I really do think we're capable of getting plus 80 this year. And that's the kind of title form that we needed to get in order to overthrow these guys. So well done, guys. Look at all those nils. Such a blemish on the record is obviously, well, the Barcelona game, of course. But yeah, the last league game we actually conceded a goal in was back here when we lost 3-2 against FC Copenhagen. Kind of absolutely outrageous. But there we go. Obviously, we've got another game against Nordsjælland in the Cup second leg. And then it's FC Copenhagen, which will be a proper live com. There's just so many more matches. There's a cup final in there, hopefully, as well, if we can get that over the line too. Lots to come. I think potentially the next episode could well be the last one at Sunyaska. And that is such a crying shame. But it would be onwards and upwards, potentially. I still can't jinx it yet. We are 9 points clear and looking very, very good to get this over the line. So, if you have enjoyed this episode, and I really hope you have, drop a like. That'd be spectacular. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. That'd be gorgeous too. I stream on Twitch Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Go follow that too. Scouting video out tomorrow at 12 o'clock as well. So look forward to that, and I'll see you guys very soon. Hold your gun. Capybara. Bye-bye.